What's up, everyone? Thank you for stopping by to visit the channel for this upcoming game preview of Kentucky and Georgia. If you want to hear a different take of college football from an analytical perspective, if you haven't done so already, please click that subscribe button, click the notification bell, and select all so you will not miss out on another video. Also, like the video, share the video, it helps this small channel grow, and give me your score prediction in the comment section below, even if you agree or disagree with my score prediction. So, as I said before, we have Kentucky and Georgia. This game could potentially decide the SEC East, and no conference play in basketball in the SEC starts in late December, early January, and also there are no divisions in basketball in the SEC. So, Georgia comes into the game as the overall #1 team in the country, and Kentucky is looking for a signature win in Mark Stoops' coaching career at Kentucky. Game will be played on CBS at the usual 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern time slot, with Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson on the call. As we always do, we compare the two teams by the tail of the tape of advanced metrics, and based on that, they are heavily leaning towards Georgia, as they are the #1 team in SP+. SP Plus has the Bulldogs as a 19-point favorite with an 86% win probability, while the Vegas line opened with the Bulldogs as a 24.5-point favorite, and it is currently sitting at 23 at the time of recording. Auburn did everything they could possibly do to make the game a little uncomfortable against Georgia. They won the field position battle. They held Georgia to 3.8 points inside the 40-yard line, but when you play against Georgia, you can't make mistakes. You got to play clean football, and you got to finish drives yourself. Georgia held Auburn to less than a field goal inside the 40-yard line. You don't need to know math to know that's not going to beat anybody. You can't leave money on the table, and Georgia's defense is very good at that. They don't allow you to score. It is almost like a sin if they do allow points on the scoreboard. The surprise, however, is the Georgia offense. They play remarkably well since they've gone to Stetson Bennett at QB1, and the team around him is playing better as well. They're not slinging the ball all over the place, but the running game is bringing extra players into the box, allowing him super easy throws to the outside. They don't need him to throw for 350 yards a game. They need him to get the ball to their playmakers and don't turn the ball over. That recipe is working well for them so far this year. Kentucky's last game against LSU looks great on paper. They beat LSU by 21, and yes, LSU is not the LSU we're used to seeing, but there is something I'm going to point out. LSU is horrible at running the football, but they ran it with some success against Kentucky. In fact, they ran it a little too well for my liking. LSU came into the game averaging around 2 yards per carry, and they ran for over 5 against the Wildcats. I've also never seen a team that allowed an offensive success rate of 60% and have a success rate delta of -7% and still win by 3 touchdowns. That is bizarre. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And I came away really impressed at the high level offensive execution by both teams, especially Kentucky in this game. This info card is where I have the advanced stats breakdown. If you are new to the channel, I break this down by 10 categories. Any team that is ahead of the other by over 10 spots by rank has an advantage. The difference in this, these stats are adjusted by the opponents both teams faced on their respective schedule, and garbage time has been filtered out. So when we take a look at Kentucky and Georgia, when Georgia has the ball here, Kentucky is going to have their hands full. The Georgia offense is efficient, and they don't make many mistakes. The running back depth is at least 4 deep with Zamir White, Kendall Milton, James Cook, and Kenny McIntosh. Kentucky's injuries at their defensive line makes this a tough matchup for the Cats, especially after LSU having success running against them last week. If the Wildcat offensive line doesn't play well, it is going to be tough sledding moving the ball against the Georgia defense. If there is anything to be had here, Kentucky doesn't allow many runs to be stopped at or behind the line of scrimmage, as they are ranked 11th in offensive stuff rate percentage. The offensive line must limit the Georgia front from controlling the line of scrimmage. There is no secret to be had here. Chris Rodriguez Jr., Will Levis, and Cavassier Smoke, they're going to run the football, and they're going to run the football with physicality. But they're going to go up against a Georgia defense that doesn't give an inch. If the guards from Kentucky can consistently get to the second level, it could make the game a little bit interesting. For my computer model, I have a rating system that is based on the principles of ELO, but structured by the average point differential from the college football team in the FBS. As to what goes on in the ranking system, it is a few parts of a weighted recruiting average, some parts returning production, and recent ranking history. These ratings are different from the tail of the tape, where I use SP+. The model has Georgia winning by the highest win probability that I've seen this year against a top 25 team. It has Georgia winning by the score of 35-7 with roughly a 95% win probability. So on this channel, I keep it a full stack, and that is not going to change. This game is going to be tough for Kentucky. Their goal is to try to run the ball into the teeth of Georgia's defense. And if you're playing against Georgia this year, it generally doesn't end well for you. But if there is an offensive line that is more than willing to take this up, it is the Kentucky offensive line. It is in their DNA as a football team. They are tough, they don't lay down, and they're going to come into Sanford Stadium with a chip on their shoulder. But if we're talking about man for man, player for player, I don't see them having the horses to beat Georgia straight up. They're just not there yet on a talent level. Georgia's going to have to gift Kentucky some points here, and Kentucky must make this game ugly in order for them to have a shot at pulling the upset. The Sanford Stadium crowd is going to be loud for this game, and we have seen that have an effect against teams on the road this year. I got Georgia winning slightly less than the model prediction. No shade. Kentucky has a solid football team, but in a game like this against a team like Georgia, they're going to need a lot of help, and they're going to need some things that goes right for them and a lot of things that goes wrong for Georgia to have a chance here. Now, if they do pull off the upset, you have my word, I'm going to make a recap video, and I will apologize to the Big Blue Nation for picking against them. I've been wrong before. It won't be the first time. And with that being said, that is a wrap for another game preview. Let me know what your thoughts are in the game in the comment section below. Give me your score prediction. Tell me why your respective team is going to win the game. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please give the video a like. And if you love college football as much as I do, hit the subscribe button if you want to stay updated with the latest previews and the occasional highlights. And as always, in every video, thank you for watching. Thank you for visiting the channel.